All right, welcome to the Hall of Fame Fatherhood podcast. I'm your host, Steve Mistovich, and today I'm joined by Kyle Carnohan. Kyle's a skateboarder, a singer, a firefighter, the founder of Roll Fast Burn Supplements, and also Superhuman Fathers. He's also a married father of 5. Kyle, thanks for joining me this morning, and look forward to the conversation.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So to begin, just give me a little bit of your background, where you're from, where you're at, and then we'll dive into some deeper questions.
All right, man. So I'm 41 years old. I feel like I'm 12. Like, seriously. Like, I'm just a scared little boy, dude. Like, when I look in the mirror, I mean, I see a fucking beast. But like, deep down inside, like every insecurity I was born with is like still trying to get me. So here I am, this fucking beast of a man, like attacking my dreams and my vision, unstoppable, will relentlessly continue to go forward. But I'm scared. Like, I have insecurities, dude. Like, I have doubts. The only thing is, I really don't give a fuck anymore about those doubts or insecurities, like the feeling of them. And so if I go back where I started, I'm just a kid who like has dreams. Like my first dreams were like skateboarding, man. Like I just loved it, dude. Like I loved the danger aspect. And like I remember seeing this kid ollie up a curb. I was probably like 10, and I was like, what is that magic, man? I was like, this guy doesn't care whether he lives or dies. The concrete's gonna eat him alive. And I think that concept of like just facing like breaking your bones was just like so epic to me as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like risking it all and then just like I was a scared little boy, man. So I'm like, damn, what happens when you face that? Like, and so I glommed on a skateboard and I started to hit the concrete hard. I started leaving my skin on the ground, And every time I fell super hard, I'd still be alive, And sometimes my bones would break, but the bones would heal. I was like, this is magic. I'm like Wolverine. I have a healing factor. It's just slower. It'd be nicer if it was faster.
Right.
But dude, I was obsessed with skateboarding. I got into martial arts. I got into music and punk rock and just like attack, like attack, man. Like even with skateboarding, it was just like go out and just hammer that trick for like 6 hours straight. Like I'm gonna do 100,000 kickflips and just fucking like till
master it.
Hips were sore,
And
And and I was raised like pretty religious. Like I've had a very deep connection with God very young. Now, and let me say, like, I'm not I don't subscribe to any belief system, religion, or like think that I know what God looks like now, or like I wouldn't tell you any book is the right book, or I don't know. And that's been a very interesting transition, but that spirituality stayed with me like really, really strong. And
what, if I can just
go ahead, dude. I will literally tell this story for 17 hours. So any questions that you intercede are good.
Like what? Because I'm interested, like from my perspective, you're just call it like your spiritual connection. I believe that's a very important part to leading a healthy life. Like,
Yeah.
and so like what role, like how does it play in your daily life?
This is a good path to go down because I don't think I've talked about this much, and it's a little different. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So I don't care where we go when we die, if we go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care. I don't care what heaven looks like or if there's a hell. I don't care if God is a man or a woman or an energy or whether it has a beard or not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could care less. And my whole life I was raised with like all these, you got to know the details of the true God, of like you have to
Okay.
envision him.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit. Like, no, I need to find like my spiritual connection to my purpose on this planet and listen to my true voice, whatever that is, the conscience, the Holy Ghost, the voice of God, the universe. I don't know, but I have to listen to that and I need to follow that.
Mm.
And the tighter I can follow that, the more I find God. And the less I care about the details, and the more I feel on fire, and the more I feel like I'm following a path that is meant for me. And I feel great fulfillment in my life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find my truth through action, and I'm finding my action through the voice in my head or in my heart that tells me what I must do at this moment right now. You know, and
Yeah.
when I take action, the world seems right. And then I start to have impact, and the impact I have fills my soul. So that's my God. My God is action and impact based upon where my heart and soul is pulling me. If I'm doing that, then that to me, that's heaven. I'm living in heaven right now.
Mm.
And getting up this morning, it wasn't easy. It was painful. My joints hurt. I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived. People are like, that's not healthy. Maybe for your body, it's not. But my spirit's soaring, man.
Wow.
I could break into tears right now. I'm holding it back. This is where the writing comes from. This is where the 15 calls that you'll grind through a day just to help other men
Mm-hmm.
that don't have any money. This is where it comes from. This is where you create a 7-figure coaching business out of nothing because you didn't care. It didn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were here to help. And you were here to get, I started this to help men from their pain.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm growing this powerful business that's changing lives, that now has the funds available to do what as I please to push the message forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is my message to men. Like, find your voice, follow it to the T, no matter how painful or difficult, and your wildest dreams happen.
Beautiful. And that's a very simple yet elegant explanation of your spiritual connection, what's driving you, and a beautiful mission that would, as part of your mission, like I see you post a lot about like earning respect, especially like in your home.
Uh-huh.
How does a man earn respect in his home if he's been neglecting his duties? How does he get on track to earn that respect back?
First of all, that man hates himself.
Mm.
He doesn't respect himself. He lies to himself to hide the pain, but it hurts. It hurts so bad to know that you are so less of a man and that you're not anywhere near what God put you on this planet for, that you're actually spitting in his face. with your actions, who you are. And I'm talking like the expectations of us are so high, so very high. Like, you know, I mean, I talk a big game, but I'm not even close, bro. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface of who I'm supposed to be, and neither have you, and most of us, right?
Yeah.
But we can be like bummed out about that, like, man, I suck. Or you can be really happy about that. Man, I suck. And like, there's so much abundance that I can have at my fingertips because I suck so bad. And my life's actually pretty good. And compared to what it will be, what could be, it sucks. That's a great gift. You know, like if you're in a position where you're like, man, life's pretty good. Guess what? You're like a 0.0001% of like what you could have, you know, and who you could be.
What a way to reframe. I don't even know if it's a reframe, but I'm, you know, being in a comfortable position, but reframing it is in abundance, like it's a gift. Like I don't know if I've ever heard another man put it that way. And that's very interesting.
And I feel it's every man's great responsibility to take hold of all that. This morning I was writing about this idea of this difference between being unstoppable and being undeniable. And I am unstoppable right now. And that's the gift I can give to men. Like when they come and work with me and be with me, you will become unstoppable, which is every man's desire. To like wake up every day and be like, fuck, nothing's going to stop me today. I'm going to crush it. Like, just know it. That's where you earn this respect for yourself, you know? And then when you respect yourself, going back to that question, now, like you're living in accordance to your conscience, you're a man that follows through, you're dependable, then you've earned the right to earn the respect of the people around you. You know, it's through your actions and your reactions. It's being steady emotionally, right? Like nobody respects the guy who is angry and pissed all of a sudden, and now he's happy, and now he's attacking you, but now he's sorry, and now he's angry again, now he's crying, now he's like, dude, what are you? Like, you don't even have a personality. No one can depend on you. Like, you're terrifying to be around.
It's funny that you bring that up. It's one thing I was going to bring up, but I had a situation on this past week with my wife, and how did it go? My mind's blanking. So,
oh yeah, get real, bro. Just get real with it. Get weird. This is the shit that's hard to share.
Yeah, so I came home from work and she was upset at me. I can't think of why at the moment. She was upset at me and I got annoyed because I didn't feel like, I'm like, what? You don't deserve to be upset at me. Like what I did or didn't do.
You know what I do around here.
Right. So, and I had a very simple, here's what it was, is she called me on my way home from work. She's like, what time are you gonna be home from work? I'm like, 15 minutes. I'm like, why? Well, she was annoyed at me asking why. And she was asking because she wanted to have dinner on the table when I'm ready. And in we sit down every Sunday and we like prepare our week over our individual tasks or whatever. I knew she told me she had a doctor's appointment at like the end of my workday, one of the days, and I was gonna have to be home a little bit earlier than usual. So when she called, I'm like, oh shit, did I mix up the day and she's supposed to be at her doctor's appointment? So that was the reason for my why question. Well, this annoyed her. So when I came home, she was annoyed, like not looking at me. I'm like, what, I don't deserve this, all these things.
Yeah.
And so finally, like, we're not talking to each other. It's a little bit of time, like, what's going on? And we're talking a little bit. I'm still annoyed. She's still annoyed. Well, then come back around to after our little one's bedtime, and we finally sit down and discuss. And it's like my simple explanation of like, hey, I just thought this is why I asked, like would have squashed it in, from the get. But instead, I was like, well, I didn't really give a shit at the time, like, because I was super annoyed with you. I didn't really care to explain.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, what I ended up finding out is I let my emotions dictate how I responded to her. Even if I may have been correct, I let my emotions dictate how I responded to her.
Yeah.
And then so I ended up apologizing and just saying, hey, I let my emotions get to me and dictate, and I need to do better at that. And it's a tough lesson to learn. And
it is, dude.
Yeah, it's very humbling.
And then these small moments, like if you get a hold of these small moments, then the big moments will be much easier, So like, it's like, that's what I'm trying to do, is like practice this, like ability to sense when something's off, just with a slight tone in myself, and then what I'm hearing, Like I try, like on the phone when I do that, because I'll do the same thing. She's like, when you come home, I'm like, well, what's going on? Why do you care? Why is this a big deal? Like, I'm working, like I got shit to do.
Yeah.
And I try to catch it, like at that moment, like when I hear the tension. That's what I try to do. Because I've been married almost 20 years and pissed my wife off so many times I can't even count. And then, responded just horrendously, like thousands of times.
Yeah.
And so like guys that like if guys just start this like practice of awareness of listening to tone, it starts to become a habit. Like it's literally a skill, like playing fucking golf. It's like anything. Like you raise your awareness and then you just practice it, and damn, you can get really good at it. Like a lot of guys are like, there's like, I can't get along with my wife, and I just can't seem to, I just got these anger issues and all this. I'm like, dude, you haven't been practicing. Like you got to show up to practice.
Yeah.
Like focus on it. It's like anything. Like, and most of the guys who have a hard time with that, not all, they also have a hard time controlling their food. They're also a little fat. They're a little irritated about the way they look. They also have other discipline issues in their life, because it's the same damn muscle you use to focus and be present and give a shit as it does to count your food, make sure you're not being gluttonous, make sure that if you want to lose fat, you're in a caloric deficit, making sure that you get your ass up early and get to the gym, making sure you're doing the shit in your business every day that needs to push the needle forward. That same guy that is having a hard time with his wife, and I'm saying me and you, we can look in our lives and pick apart other spots where we're dropping the ball. It's all connected, man.
Yeah.
It's all connected. So it's like, and then usually when you snap at her, there's this internal frustration with yourself in places in your life that are not in alignment, So sometimes being out of a line will cause frustration to the people we love the most. And then sometimes frustration towards the people we love the most will cause misalignment in the discipline in the other areas of our lives. So they bounce off of each other. One can fuck up the other. And it's just like you guys, when they get in a fight with their wife, they go to the strip club and drink. Like, fuck her. You know, I don't need you. So then they just go do something stupid and make themselves even more weak.
Yeah.
To numb the pain rather than just facing the heat, facing the fact that we are not up to par. Like, the best thing a man can do is look at his life and be like, I'm not even close. I'm a piece of shit. And I got work to do. And I'm sorry. I'm going to be better. Shit, say that every day, man. People are like, don't say that about yourself. Dude. Listen, Superhuman Fathers had a record month this month.
Okay.
Record. Blew my mind, dude. Like, I can't even. On one hand, I'm blown away by the growth. On the other hand, I see it and I'm like, you are capable of so much more. Like, this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. How many men did you help this month? You know, I got 300 guys on the team right now. There's billions that need help. So I'm not even making a dent yet. Pat myself on the back. Fuck you. You know, like, no. Nope. Maybe like 2 seconds. Hey, good job working. All right, let's go. You know, and that's the same thing in the marriage, man. It's like, don't look for credit. Don't look for pats on the back. Like, you create your own love for yourself. One thing my wife tells me I love so much. I'll be like, hey, I apologize. I should have come home earlier, or I forgot about that thing. And my wife's a badass. We're growing together. She goes, listen, I like you. I don't need you. And I'm like, that's a woman right there.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I'm good on my own. I don't need you. I appreciate you. But I need nothing. I need nothing from you.
How does going back to, say, your previous you, like, how would your old you handle that, and how do you handle that now? Just some guys, you know.
Old me's needy, dude. Old me's like, man, I need, man. I need, man. I need. You don't rub my feet or scratch my head. And you haven't instigated sex in like 4 times. I always instigate. And I need some me time. You know, I work so hard. I need a break. And these kids really, it's just really hard. Like, fuck, this guy thinks he's leading a family. This guy's a little bitch, dude. Like, crying about everything, like how hard your life is. And you chose to be a dad. That means you're a leader of a nation. I mean, you're creating a posterity that will go endless.
Right.
And you're sitting here at like the most important title that you'll ever have in your life, bitching and moaning about nonsense. Like, it's just embarrassing, man. And I mean, I'm embarrassed for myself, my past, and the things I've yelled at my wife about of dumb bullshit. And this is why I say, man, this is why we say we need the most. We do the most, we need the least. And in a marriage, I'm here for you. What do you need? I need nothing from you. That's it. I carry the family. I'm the leader. So what do you need? I need nothing from you. If you can live this life where you're just internally, you need nothing from anyone, nothing, then you're invincible.
So is that that internal feeling, is that a byproduct of being in alignment and integrity?
Yes, sir. Very good. This is a byproduct of living your truth and building the ultimate man for yourself, so that you can give a great gift to your people. Like, your confidence is so high that you know that you are bringing value to those around you. And your fulfillment comes from being valuable to others. When that's where your goal is, then I don't need anything for myself. And so I am just enjoying this adventure. And if I have people from the outside attacking or pointing fingers or telling me what I should do and what I'm not doing, now I'm not trying to protect myself and be sensitive and defend myself. I'm just listening. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe you're right. Maybe I do have this flaw that I need to work on, not emotionally, like listening. Like I want to be better. When people tell me I'm fucked up, like I don't close off. I'm like, okay, let's hear this. Tell me. Like I want to know.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad and I ain't defensive. I'm just like to me, this is the ultimate alpha, like constant progress, wise, dangerous, like experienced, and wide open to just the world. Like not puffing your chest, protecting your heart. Like your heart's out there, like allowed to get smashed. Like, go ahead, hit it with a hammer. I want to feel it.
Yeah.
You know, without retribution, without like having to like show the world how rad you are. You know, like because there's that ego scratch, dude. Like this is something I'm fighting right now because like I'm like even financially just more successful right now than I've ever thought possible. Right.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm like, I'm not. Superhuman Fathers is. It's not my shit. This is the message that was given to me from who knows where. Right. And then I'm this like blessed to be this conduit. And so I'm like, well, I didn't do this anyway. This is a culmination of people that taught me things. And then the group creates, the people that are in the group have created such an incredible environment for people to grow. Like I just had this idea and you know, put a lot of work in. So it's like, but there's like that human nature to want to be like, to like scratch your ego and get that dopamine release from like, look what you did. Look at how awesome you are. And then what happens when you scratch that ego too much is like, you start getting like addicted to it, just like a drug. So then you're seeking validation from outside. And then what happens is you're going to get to a point where the ego scratch is so important to you that you stop pushing the message forward, or you stop living your vision to that level. You stop being hungry. You start relaxing into your comfort zone. And then you start to fall apart, get weak as fuck. Because you're only as strong as you are right now due to the pressure that you put yourself under, just like under the weights. But if I sit back and go, we made it. Guess what's around the corner? Atrophy, darkness, depression. So how do we combat that? Live harder. Live like your back's against the wall all the time. Like I don't need to go on these calls, like my calls today. I don't need to go on my calls. Like my freaking bills are paid, dude. Like I've already surpassed any expectations for myself. Like, but if I truly am going to act like the undeniable man I profess to be, then I need to change some lives today. And I need to put the painful hours in and sacrifice my energy and my time to be the man that my conscience pulls me to be. It has nothing to do with the outcome. It's like the daily actions. Who am I today? Am I following through with what I said I would do? Am I following that true voice that pulls me in that direction? Am I pushing against that desire for comfort and ease? You know?
Yeah.
And it's hard, dude. We're on this podcast. You're like, hey, come on this podcast with me. And it's real easy for me to be like, oh yeah, I got to talk about my shit, tell the world how bad I am, you know? And it's like, no, fuck you. Nope. That's not what this is about. It's that little demon inside you that wants like validation and clout and
Power.
And it's not like evil. It's not evil. It's like a donut's not evil, you know, like it is a pleasurable experience to feel like you're appreciated. That's and pleasure's not bad. It's just when we focus only on pleasure, and that's like our main thing. When we seek only pleasure and we'll sacrifice fulfillment for pleasure, then we're in a really, really dangerous place. But when you do receive some sort of pleasure in your life and you appreciate it, but you're also immediately going to get back in the game and push with that there and not rely on that for your happiness, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's definitely, I think, at least in our culture, that's not something that's talked about much. You know, being a man the way that you're describing, you know, it's not taught to like our sons.
Yeah.
And
bro.
how do you obviously you're doing your best at setting that example for your boys. How do you, like, when they're pushing back and wanting to retreat into their comfort zone, how do you, as their fathers, their leader, help guide them through that?
Well, here's the truth. Like low level pleasure is going to give you a low level life, right? So that's a truth. And so the only way for men to learn that is to test it and experience it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense on a surface level where you're like, hey, do you want to know how to have a happy life? Like, they're like, yeah, you know, like win the lottery and then like buy like yachts and hang out on the beach and drink and like bang hot chicks. You know? And like the surface, like, yeah, bro, party time. Like
that sounds good, but
sounds great. But anyone who's lived that and lived to a healthy age in their 40s or something, they're like, man, I want a family. Like, I want to have impact. Like, I want to serve. Like, there's something deeper here. And I'm like, son, do you know what the answer is? To be happy? To fucking suffer. I'll tell that to a 10-year-old. Like, the way you're going to find great fulfillment in your life is to go through epic pain. What? That's like, that doesn't make any sense. But in the end, man, what are we doing? We're trying to become someone extremely valuable that can inspire others. And how do you become valuable to the world? You got to learn shit. You got to go through some shit. You have to have gone through some hard times and overcame them in order to show other people what's possible. Like, you got to become a rare, hard man. And like, how do you do that? You got to do hard shit. And so when you're surrounded by comfort and a comfortable bed, air conditioning, warm showers, and really like, even if you're working an 8-hour-a-day job, like, you're like, oh, it's Wednesday, I gotta go to work. It's like, dude, 8 hours? I'll piss out 8 hours. Like, without even thinking. Like, you know, it's like this perspective. But then you come home and you're like, oh man, it was a hard day at work. I slept until 8, got there at 9, home by 5, on the couch, beers and Netflix. It's like, dude, no wonder you're fucking miserable. You didn't do shit today. You made zero progress. You actually got fatter, you got angrier, you got lazier. And you lost a day. So like, you're closer to death.
Right.
Damn. Like, So these are the concepts I teach my kids. And I mean, honestly, they've seen me. They're watching. They're watching.
Right.
Like when I go in his room at 10 a.m. and he's still asleep, and I'm like, I've been busting my ass, like having impact in the world. And like, I'm like, hey, Gavin. I'm like, good morning. Like, let's see. You're still asleep. I've been up for 7 hours and 15 minutes. I've cried twice just out of straight gratitude for my life. I've written some pieces of content that like came from my soul. I went to the gym. I had 3 healthy meals on track to have my nutrition dialed today. I made $15,000 this morning. And you just woke up. And he's just like, damn. So he'll tell his mom, like when I'm not around, I'll be like, hey, I'm pretty tired. Like, do you think I can miss wrestling practice this afternoon? And then my wife's like, go ask Dad. And he's like, I'll go to practice.
Yeah.
Like you want to become that undeniable figure in your kids' lives where like they know they have no excuses. You do them a favor by plugging all the holes. That's why as a dad, you have to be jacked and lean. You have to. Because that's what your kids respect. You got young men, like they're looking for the ultimate man. And that ultimate man for your son, he's got some freaking traps. He's got bicep veins. He's got abs. Like that's the ultimate man to your son.
Right.
Well, that's shallow. We're shallow. Especially when we're born and we're kids. That's why G.I. Joe guys are all ripped. That's why I saw freaking like, that's why all the Marvel characters are all jacked. Like you don't get casted in those spots unless you put in serious effort, or you got a really good trainer and did 6 months of steroids, like, and don't do that route. Do that. Play the long game, because that shit will wear off and then you'll just go back to your old ways. Like you got to change the mindset. Don't take the easy road.
Right.
But
that's what like how I see what you're doing. Like I believe that parents for the longest time, at least here in the West, like we've given up our want to like be our kids' example. And we've passed that on to professional athletes, actors, actresses, everybody else except for ourselves. And I think we're feeling the effects of that now. And I think that needs to be changed. And that's how I look at what you're doing, is you are being your kid's hero, or setting that example. All right, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And
I want them to look at the Marvel superheroes and be like, my dad will kick your ass.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I want them to admire me. And so, I mean, everything I do is for that purpose. To get, to get more jacked, just to have better influence on my sons and to the world, like, because men look at surface level things to judge you. And if they see you and go, that dude's disciplined, he has what I want. Guess what? Your heart just opened. Now you'll listen to me. Regardless of what I'm saying, you'll listen to my words, which gives me great power to influence you. And even on the business side, like I was a fireman, respectable career, but I was like, how am I going to talk to these freaking billionaires when I have no idea about business or what they do in their life? I was like, I have to be a successful entrepreneur. If I'm going to be a coach, I better be making more than most of these people, or at least be in a place where they respect my work ethic and my abilities. Right? Like, I'm not always going to be the best at everything, but over time, as I increase in my leadership abilities, my finances, my body, my mind, my spirit, right? The more I can increase this man, the more my net grows of the people I can influence, the more impact I can have, the more people I can help. And so when that's your purpose, and it's not for the ego scratch, that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to build the ultimate undeniable man so that you can have the greatest impact in this world, which in the end you could argue is selfish, because like you want to have a fulfilled life,
Right.
and you want the best for your kids. You're like, well, technically, these guys get so dumb. Technically, that's selfish because it makes you feel good. I'm like, all right, you go as deep as you want with this bullshit, but like,
Right.
in the end, like that's a good man. Like, if a man is trying to be better for the purpose of helping others because it makes him feel good, like, don't beat up that dude. Like,
Right.
you're just saying that because you don't want to do that shit. So you're just pissing on like what a good man is, you know? But I always thought that concept was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you only do good because it makes you feel good. So technically you're selfish. It's like, Jesus.
But what are the results of that selfishness? You know,
Like, what do you want, man?
right. You're making more money, you're providing for your family, you're helping guys get jacked, you know,
Dude.
the results, you know, speak for themselves. If you look at the results.
I want to feel on fire.
Mhm.
I want to wake up every day with my feet not touching the ground, on fire for a cause that I would die for. And then I want to take that feeling and then I want to give it to other people. I want them to feel that way. So when I see someone that doesn't feel that way, I feel obligated to say or do whatever it takes to help them find that fire in their lives. And it is transferable.
Mm.
And I've had it transferred into me by others. And now I do the same for other men. It's like a hope and a belief, you know, and knocking down the walls that in our heads that hold us in this place where we don't see what we're capable of. And so, you know, now what I do is I take that from me, the gift I've been given from others, and I place it in other men. And when they see, they're like, oh, I am unstoppable.
Mm.
Like, to me, that's just lifeblood. So, you know, people look at it, damn, dude, you're grinding all day. And like even a guy yesterday, he's like, dude, I told you I didn't have any money and you still took this appointment. And, you know, this guy's same story, multiple times a day, like he's going through hard times in his marriage and his family.
Mm.
You know, also had a recent catastrophic injury.
Mm.
Just feels lost. And I'm like, 30 minutes with me, bro. 30 minutes. And we have this conversation and, you know, and he's thanking me at the end of the call, man. And I'm just like, to be in this position to have such a massive effect on some guy on the other side of the nation or other side of the world in a 30-minute conversation, to be so blessed to be able to change that man's life in 30 minutes and put him on a trajectory towards winning and getting past all that pain. Dude, that's the payment, man. Like, fuck the money. Like, the money's, it's coming. You can't stop it. But that, like, that right there, like I tell people, man, like, it's an investment. Like, service and sacrifice for others is an investment with infinite returns. Because like everybody wants shit, like, oh man, when I get jacked, I'll be happy, or when I finally make all this money, I'll be happy. And say, hey, you invest your time in service and sacrifice for other people. That's an account with infinite interest. You take that and you deposit it. Because why do we want the money and the abs and all that shit? Like, we want to feel fulfilled and happy. Well, fulfillment and happiness is going to come from service and sacrifice. Now, you have to become the man that can give more service and sacrifice to enhance that infinite interest right? To get your greatest returns. So yes, you do have to get jacked and you do have to get rich, but you have to become the man that does those things to get that first. And when you are that man, you're in a great position to impact many people because you're just on an upward trajectory of winning. And then you're going to bring people with you. And the last thing I'll say about this is if you don't follow through with that and you don't work on yourself at a high level, there's certain people in your life that would have been inspired that are now going to live in the darkness and then die in it and never find their truth and never really live their fulfilled life because you didn't. So you dragged them down with you because you were too lazy, too selfish to get up in the morning and go to the gym, or too lazy and too selfish to build that business or put yourself in a position to gain that wisdom to become that better man. And so what is self-development? It's just increasing our capacity to have an effect on others and magnify your light so that it lights them on fire.
Wow.
So you want to tie great meaning to your actions? That's it. You want to know how to get motivated? That's it. It's not for you. You know, so whenever you're like, man, the alarm goes off and you're like, man, I'm so tired. You know what? I think I deserve a snoozy. You know, in my head, I hear the voice real loud. Fuck you, you selfish motherfucker. Get your ass up. Because you're going to drag everybody down with you from this moment right now, your weak fucking moment. How many people are going to sleep in because your energy you're putting off right now? No. The pain you feel from this sacrifice will have a ripple effect on the world today. See, if I sleep in, I won't get my content out. I won't have time. And that content that I write now, I know for a fact will impact someone's life today. What I write today and what I put out in the world. If I can have the time to really put my heart into it, it will literally change someone's life today. It will have them take action. And if I don't get my ass up at the time I need to get up, the world will distract me. And the content, if I do get it, it will be shitty. It won't be as good. And so that person, I just kicked him in the balls right in the morning. So you got to tie great purpose behind every action that you do. Even eating a sleeve of Oreos, like if you're fat, and I'm saying any fat, like if you have any fat on your body, well, now you're less of an impactful human. Like if you're at the beach and you're jacked, shredded, right? You have eyes on you. Like, who is that? You know, and you say, hey, good morning. How are you? What's your name, man? And they're like, this guy's interesting. Like, I'm John.
Yeah.
Like, nice to meet you, John. Is this your family? Yeah. Oh man, your kids are beautiful. Like, where are you from? You spark up this conversation. You can get to know this guy a little bit. He'll listen to you. He's listening to you. He wants to be you. Stupid as it is, abs and muscles, like make this guy listen to you. And now you've just cracked the door to be able to like reach into his heart and help him. So if people wonder, man, you don't have to be looking like that to be a good dad. Well, to have the most impact, yes, you do. We can make excuses all day and say, no, it's okay. You don't have to. You're right. You don't have to. But I'm going to, because there's going to be moments where that will help my impact. Even if it's on a small level, plug all the holes. Mm-hmm. So that's why Superhuman Fathers, like all my guys look like 300 warriors. Because it's all part of it. A small part of it. It's not everything. But it's a piece. It's an important piece. You know?
Yeah.
Because you could be jacked and lean and be an asshole.
True.
And now it does you zero good. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that guy. I'm not listening to him. But what happens when you're like full alpha and all you care about is loving and serving others? Like, that's powerful, man. That's a real alpha. That's a real leader. not some chest puffing, fake ass shit.
Yeah. I'm just blown away, like that whole last 3 minutes that you just went on, the emotion, the explanation, is 100% spot on. And I think that's a perfect place to end it, because it was the best message that I think we can leave with anybody who listens.
Awesome, man.
What what else do you have going on? Is there anything you want to, where can people find you? And
yeah, best spot right now is just Superhuman Fathers on Instagram. Is follow my content. That's where my content goes out. I'm trying to find the time and the energy and the leverage to build my other social media. I'm supposed to do 3 videos a day, shorts on YouTube, and you're supposed to do them at certain times. And I'm realizing damn, this is a lot. I'm gonna have to hire somebody because I have to do the content. I have to write it. It has to be mine. But you can go in the computer and you can put in the times it's supposed to post. But now I'm in my computer and I can't. People are gonna laugh because they're gonna be thinking all these things dude, use this app or use this whatever. I just don't know. But I can't edit my videos on the computer and like I can on my phone for YouTube. For the shorts, I can write stuff on them. Yeah. But on the computer, I'm I can't. So then I got to do it on my phone, then transfer it to my computer, and then I got to find it, and then I got to take the stuff off Instagram, the writing, and put it back on there. Dude, it turns into an extra 90 minutes for 3 videos, and I'm just dude, how I'm gonna have to hire this out or something. So. But yeah, I'm sorry. Instagram is where it's at. Superhumanfathers.com is getting it. It works. It's just a pretty simple page. We're revamping that to have it explain kind of what it is we do. Our coaching group is the Superhuman Fathers Brotherhood. You join this group, you're around all these other savage fathers that are just attacking life relentlessly, becoming the ultimate undeniable husband and father on all levels. So if you're looking for massive accountability and you have the balls to come and be with us, it's absolutely life-changing. It's the most savage group on the planet, Yeah. So, and then I still talk to every single one of my guys before they join. So you just get a one-on-one meeting with me, and my whole goal on that call is to help you with your problems. And then if you decide to join us, great. If not, if I can provide you value on that call, that's all I care about.
Beautiful. Well, Kyle, thanks for joining me, and great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm gonna go write a bunch of shit.
Nice.
And then go
all right, have a great day.
Annihilate the gym on this Sunday morning.
Beautiful.
When the rest of you guys are chilling,
Yeah.
I'll just be crushing it. So get your ass up, boys. Go get it.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
All right, brother.
All right. Take care.